Good Sunday evening, South Carolina weather watchers, or if you're watching this Monday morning, good Monday morning to you as well. It is very late at around 12:51 in the morning right now when I am recording this because I said that I would be back for Sunday night, and so I just had to record something before I go to bed. So if you are up right now and it's past 1 o'clock in the morning and you're watching this, hopefully you had a great Sunday. And we're just going to go and get straight into the weather. We're not going to go in the regular order that we usually do. Um, right now, I mean, there's just like not a lot of point. Like, there's not really a point in really talking about like current temperatures and stuff like that. Plus, we have a lot to talk about in terms of the tropics. You can see, starting off, this is the current hazards right now. And you can see that mainly, I pretty much say the entire low country of South Carolina is inside of a flood watch. I'll explain why in just a second. And we have Berkeley County, Tidal Berkeley County, Charleston County, Coastal Colleton County, also places like Jasper County and Beaufort County. All of these places are inside of a tropical storm warning. Tropical storm warning. Now, those can indeed kind of like go, they can kind of like stretch towards for more of the low country, but right now it's just looking like it's going to be tropical storm force conditions for mainly the coastal regions in Berkeley County as well. But again, that can expand. It probably will expand, honestly. But that's just the current conditions right now in terms of just like alerts. Here's our cloud cover for the future. As we push this forward, you can see cloud cover will continue to build as we go through, and you can see tropical storm Debby down here. That will continue to push forward, and again, we'll see constant cloud cover as we move through the next 18 or so hours. The only place that might not see cloud cover is the very far upstate of South Carolina. Other than that, everyone else will probably be receiving ample cloud cover. In terms of low temperatures for tonight, going into your Monday mornings, 73 in Orangeburg, 73 in Columbia, 78 inside of Charleston, 77 in Hilton Head Island, 76 in Myrtle Beach, 71 Rock Hill, Spartanburg, 72 Greenville and Anderson, 72 in Aiken, and then 73 over there inside Moncks Corner. In terms of your forecast precipitation for the next 24 or so hours, mainly around a quarter of an inch to a half an inch possible inside of Sumter, a hundredth of an inch to a tenth of an inch possible in Columbia. Same thing with around a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch possible from Spartanburg, Greenville, and Anderson. Hundredth of an inch to a tenth of an inch in Rock Hill, Cheraw, Dillon. And then once you really get to the low country of South Carolina, a quarter of an inch to a half an inch possible in Myrtle Beach. 1 to 1.5 inches in Georgetown. Half an inch to an inch possible in Moncks Corner. 1.5 to 2 inches possible in Walterboro, Charleston, and then 2 to 3 inches possible inside of Hilton Head Island through the next 24 or so hours. So that's in terms of precipitation. In terms of the SPC outlook as we go through tonight, not really much in terms for the remainder of the next couple hours. But then as we move into tomorrow, parts of us I'd say pretty much the Charleston region, going all the way up towards like Moncks Corner, Somerville regions, down into Hilton Head, Beaufort, is under a slight risk of severe weather, and the reason why is not hail, it's not damaging winds, it's tornadoes. Yes, there is a 5% risk of tornadoes for the regions that I just called out, and we have a marginal risk of severe weather with a 2% chance of tornadoes going in for like Allendale, up there towards close to Columbia. It's like I'd say like the I-95, I-26 corridor, Orangeburg, Myrtle Beach over there, Georgetown. 2% risk of tornadoes going through that region as we go through tomorrow, and it's really because of the outer bands of Tropical Storm Debby. The outer bands of Tropical Storm Debby, you guys know, usually like the northeastern quadrant of the storm, it's rotating, and that will cause a tornado threat. And tropical tornadoes move fast, so if they do form, they will be fast moving, so you don't have time to sit and try to look outside, because if you try to run inside once you see it and it's heading your direction, it could make it to you before you get inside of your safe spot. So you have to take those tornado warnings serious if you get them tomorrow. And in terms of, let's go all the way to like day 3. There's another chance, I'm guessing again, for probably tornadoes going into Tuesday again. Really just seems to be, yeah, it just seemed to be any type of severe weather, just probably like tornadoes and stuff like that possible going into Tuesday, which is why we have this little sliver of a risk right here. And then in terms of flash flooding, or excessive rainfall, this is what I want to talk about the most. As we move through, this is Monday's risk, so this is Monday, not Sunday. So we're starting this on a Monday. Slight risk of excessive rainfall for Savannah, North Charleston, Mount Pleasant, Moncks Corner, like the entire low country of South Carolina, pretty much going into Georgetown County with that slight risk of excessive rainfall. Marginal risk that goes all the way up towards Greenville, Spartanburg, Rock Hill, Myrtle Beach, as well. All these regions inside of the marginal risk. The only place that really does not receive any type of a risk is up there inside of the far upstate. Now, this is where I think we really all need to be paying attention. Look at this. Day 2, we have a moderate risk. Okay, this is a moderate risk of excessive rainfall that goes through North Charleston, Charleston, Mount Pleasant, again, the entire low country of South Carolina. And then we have a yellow that goes all the way from Augusta all the way towards Myrtle Beach. And then we do have a marginal risk that goes all the way just from the north of Augusta through Columbia and up there towards like the Loris regions as well. So this is pretty much going in for a Monday afternoon all the way to Tuesday morning. So this right here, this is from early Monday morning to Monday afternoon. And this is from Monday afternoon to Monday evening. So again, right now, it's looking like the rain threat will really kick up, especially Tuesday. And again, this is another thing that I want to watch for. Tuesday, we have a very rare high risk of excessive rainfall. The last time we saw this was, I think it was Hurricane Dorian or Tropical Storm Dorian. And really, again, this is catastrophic. Flooding is possible. Pretty much, let me call out these locations like Georgetown, all the way down towards Charleston, North Charleston, Mount Pleasant, the entire honestly, I said the entire low country of South Carolina is included, going all the way towards like the Allendale regions, all the way up into like Orangeburg, I-26, I-95, down to Statesboro, Savannah, Georgia, as well. So if you're inside this high risk of excessive rainfall, you really have to watch out because some of these rain totals can be up to 10 to 20 inches in a short amount of time. So you cannot be playing around, especially Tuesday. Tuesday is a day that you're really going to want to watch because roads, creeks, streams, even low-lying areas, and maybe even some, I'd say maybe even some high areas as well could start seeing rising water. And I mean, this type of rain, we don't see this type of rain. I think the last time we've seen 10 to 20 inches of rain inside the state of South Carolina, I think it was 2015. So it's been almost a decade since we've seen this type of rainfall. Moderate risk surrounds that, though, going all the way from Jacksonville, Florida, up through Columbia, Augusta, all the way up into Myrtle Beach, Conway, Loris. Yellow, that goes all the way down from like St. Petersburg, Tampa, all the way up just to the north of Augusta and Columbia, all the way up towards Rock Hill, and then a marginal risk that goes all the way just from the east of Tallahassee up through like the Charlotte regions, North Carolina. Going into Wednesday, okay, here's Wednesday right here. Again, same moderate risk goes through the low country of South Carolina, the coastal PD region, slight risk goes all the way up towards Columbia, and then marginal risk surrounds that. Day 5, again, pretty much the same thing, moderate risk of excessive rainfall. This is for Thursday. Goes all the way towards the Charleston, North Charleston, Mount Pleasant regions, all the way up into the Myrtle Beach region. So again, we'll have more information on this, I guess you could say like later today, for Monday morning's forecast. But again, flash flooding is the heaviest threat with this system as it moves through. And here it is right here, the National Hurricane Center outlook. Let's check it out. Hurricane Debby right now, 75-mile-per-hour winds sustained. Potential historic heavy rainfall across southeastern Georgia and South Carolina through Friday morning will likely result in areas of catastrophic flooding. Heavy rainfall will likely result in considerable flooding impacts in portions of central and northern Florida through the coastal plains and Carolinas through Friday. There is a danger of life-threatening storm surge along portions of the Gulf Coast of Florida with 6 to 10 feet of inundation above ground level expected somewhere between, I'm not going to try and say that the Ochlockonee River to the Yankeetown late tonight and Monday morning. Residents in storm surge warning areas should follow any advice given by local officials. Also, hurricane conditions are expected Monday along portions of the Florida Big Bend region where a hurricane warning is in effect. A tropical storm condition beginning this evening. Tropical storm conditions are expected through Monday farther south within the tropical storm warning area along Florida's west coast, including the Tampa Bay area. Dangerous storm surge and wind impacts are expected along portions of the southeastern United States coast from northeastern Florida to North Carolina. Through the middle of the week, and storm surge warnings and tropical storm watches and warnings have been issued for portions of these areas. So I've already shown the whole tropical storm warning, whole tropical storm watch stuff, and I mean right now, we're just gonna have to wait and see. So let's go and let's check out the models, see what they have to say. So here it is right here. Here's the GFS, the American model. As you push this forward, the GFS has this thing kind of going through Florida, Georgia, and then kind of regaining strength and actually trying to go back in towards Georgia and Alabama. So honestly, the GFS, at least this model run right here, is not really showing too much in terms of probably like wind damage, in wind, I should say. But still that tornado threat and flash flooding threat is still there. And then once it goes out, the GFS tries to recurve it a little bit more and hit Florida and Georgia again, and then hit us like a second time on August the 11th. So again, honestly, it could do a loop. I mean, it's possible that this thing could hit us once, turn around, do a quick loop, and come and hit us again. And then look at this, another area of interest that we're gonna have to watch hits Florida again, but then it kind of dies out a little bit. And again, so this one, it could try and loop right back around. Honestly, it could try that. Because obviously it's possible if models are saying that it's possible. If we go to the Euro though, Euro's a bit different. Let's go to the 12. Well, actually, let's go to the 18Z. As we push this forward, the Euro has this thing pretty much hanging off the South Carolina coastline, becoming a hurricane. Or getting close to a hurricane and making landfall in like the Myrtle Beach, Conway regions around August the 8th, bringing still heavy rainfall and heavy windy conditions going pretty much throughout most of the coastal regions of South Carolina, Low Country, PD, and the southeastern portions of North Carolina. And then we have the Icon, which is, I think, most people are saying is the strongest one. It has a 962 millibar low pressure, making landfall inside the South Carolina, North Carolina border, and bringing probably some definitely hurricane conditions to the North Carolina and South Carolina regions. So honestly, the Icon, I think, is not really too much on the rain, but I think really like on the wind side of the things. Like I really think that the wind part, like it really wants to kick that up a lot. So in terms of like hurricane strength, the Icon definitely takes this. And then here you can kind of just see, this is like a wind map. It can just tell you kind of just like how windy it could be. So let's just go to Columbia real quick. And you can see as we push it forward, going maybe to like, let's go to 1 p.m. Tuesday. This is sustained winds, so not gusts. We can have sustained winds over here, Lake Moultrie at around 40 miles an hour, through Columbia 17, through Augusta 20 miles an hour, down to Statesboro 24. Again, this is just one model, so there's multiple. If going to Tuesday night, winds will obviously increase near Charleston, around 30 mile per hour sustained winds. Hilton Head Island close to 30. And it kind of calms down a little bit more. But then as we continue to push it forward some more, you start to see that it kind of starts to push in a little bit more. towards like Columbia 12, Somerville 17, Charleston around 30, 25, 30, around early Wednesday morning, Myrtle Beach 15. Let's go into like the late morning hours. Still, again, just still bringing those sustained winds pretty high. And then they continue to kind of push through. And then this is the icon model, so this was the one that said that it would bring those strong hurricane conditions to like the Myrtle Beach region. And I mean, you can push this forward and you can see, I mean, it's talking about bringing like close to 60 to 70 mile an hour winds near the North Carolina coast. And then maybe even close to 40 to 50 near Myrtle Beach. Even as we go into like 8 a.m., still like 50 to 60 mile per hour sustained winds for Myrtle Beach going into Thursday. So again, in terms of wind, for the icon, really has it up here towards like the Myrtle Beach region. If we switch models though, or if we go to like the GAFS or something like that, again, most of those winds, and we're actually going to do wind gust. Again, most of those winds kind of stay a bit more towards like the Charleston regions. And then if we go to like the Euro model, or the GEM, I should say, mainly has this thing kind of going up towards the North Carolina regions, like it always like the icon was. So again, we still have a lot to figure out. We still have a lot to figure. We're still gonna have to figure out what this thing is going to do. And I think after like maybe like tomorrow night, we should have a way better understanding of what's going to happen with this thing as it gets off the coast of South Carolina or off the coast of Florida, Georgia, and where it will hit at. That's a big question that we're going to have to figure out. Because where it hits at, that's obviously where the worst conditions can happen. So I mean, all the way from Charleston all the way up towards Wilmington, North Carolina, this thing can make landfall at. It's just where will it hit? We have no idea quite yet. We have no idea. These things are hard to forecast exactly where they're gonna make landfall at. So honestly, if I was inside this entire area right here, I'd be watching for any type of landfall. But that's pretty much it in terms of the tropics. I don't have anything else. I mean, rainfall. I mean, I talked about rainfall. I mean, yeah. I mean, like a good. I mean, you can see right here on the models as we move into like August, like the 6th. Look at this heavy rainfall that's moving through low country South Carolina, the PD region of South Carolina, and all of that rainfall actually. If we look at the total precipitation, look at this. In the Charleston region, close to 8. This is the next 48 hours. 8 inches could fall in this. I say that the Somerville, Monks Corner regions, up to 11 inches can fall during the next 48 hours. Beaufort, 10 inches can fall. Savannah, 10 inches could fall. Hinesville, 14 to 15 inches of rain can fall. Myrtle Beach, close to 4 to 5 inches. Georgetown, 8 to 9 inches. So again, still have a lot to figure out in terms of all of this. But now, since it is Sunday, and that's really all that I have to talk about in terms of the tropics, we're going to talk about what's going to happen during the week in terms of above average and below average and stuff like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. Here it is right here. Our temperatures for this week will be above average. It will not, even though the tropical storm is pushing through, it's pretty much going to be above average. So what we've seen pretty much for the past couple of weeks, above average temperatures as we move through the week. In terms of precipitation, I can only imagine what it's going to be, and I mean, nobody's surprised, above average precipitation as we move through this week. So above average precipitation, above average temperatures as well. And also, here's a look. I actually do want to show this. Here's a look at the Drought Monitor. This is what the Drought Monitor looked like on August the 1st. So on Thursday, when it updates, I want to look and see what the Drought Monitor looks like this Thursday. Because honestly, I want to see, will this storm help us out? Yes, it will obviously help us out in terms of rain. But I really do want to see what's the map going to look like after this thing pushes through. But that's pretty much all that I have in terms for today. Or I should say for early this morning. It's like 1:11 in the morning right now. This video will probably be going out around 1:30 somewhere-ish in the morning. And make sure that you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. as we are getting closer and closer to our goal of 200. I do think that since there is a tropical storm pretty much on the way, I think that that will boost the channel a lot because people from South Carolina will be wanting to know what's the weather going to be like. Obviously, with this tropical storm on the way, so I do think that this storm will definitely boost my channel. So we'll see how much it does when it's all said and done. But that's all I have for today. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your, I guess, Monday night if you're watching this, or if you're watching this Monday morning. I will be back hopefully in, I guess just whenever I decide to upload the video Monday morning. So